Hi, I'm Catherine Gillis. I'm a chartered accountant, and I'm here to tell the stories. I come from a family of journalists. I used to play football with the big cameraman at the back there for TV3. He's left now. But I've just been this morning to visit my 82-year-old uncle in Stokes Valley. 18 years ago, he was told he was going to die. My father and my uncle turned up at his bedside in their funeral suits, and he woke up and he said, "Brothers in suits, not good." I told him 2 weeks ago, when again he was meant to die for about the 5th time, I told him, "Make sure you're still alive on the 13th. Well, I saw him this morning, and he's up and about, and he's faster than my father. I noticed when I was collecting signatures and submissions for this, I went around to a lot of elderly people and friends, many of them very disabled or terminally ill. And it was really, the friends, both caregiver and the dying person, are loved people in my life. But it was really quite shocking that the caregivers often didn't want to give a submission because they felt that their submission was just going to counteract the submission of the person who was terminally ill and didn't want euthanasia. But you see, we need to be giving more support out there for those caregivers as well as for the people who are at risk, who are dying. I met Philip Lynch from Voice for Life, Old Spuck Days, here today. And when we had the Peter Brown debate in about 2003, Peter came to Gisborne, where I come from. And we also had Dr. James Carstens, who was the first hospice doctor. And at that stage, we'd had hospice for 23 years in New Zealand. And he said, in the previous 6 months in Gisborne, we'd had 6 people commit suicide. In his 23 years of hospice care, they'd never had one request for suicide or assisted killing. We know what it is. We know what it is without euthanisms. And Dr. Carsten's point was, way back then, that people who want to be euthanised or who want assisted killing are people who feel unloved, who feel unimportant, who don't feel valued. Nobody should feel like that in this world. In the next 9 weeks, we had 6 more suicides in our town. One of them was my uncle, another one, his grandson worked in my accounting firm, another one was a brother-in-law of one of my staff, there was a client, and there was a client's son, and another one was a 12-year-old boy. So, whilst I sat and reeled that night when I heard Dr. Carstens talk about the difference between those who suicide and those who are loved and nursed and feel treasured, as in with the hospice system, it was really in my face that our world has too many people who don't feel the love. And this bill is just going to make them a whole lot more vulnerable. And it is absolute rubbish when they tell us there's no correlation between suicide and euthanasia. No correlation. As this young girl is going, it's like this. It's a given. There's obviously a correlation. What I did want to say was, if we lose this vote tonight, which I pray we don't, but if we do, then we really have to make sure that the propaganda machine of the other side does not get away with it. The problem we have is that most people do not understand what euthanasia really is, and we really have to push it so that everybody understands what it is. Because if people knew, they wouldn't want it. They wouldn't wish it on the people they love. And I just pray, if there are politicians listening right now, you've been voted into your job because people believe you care. People have trusted you. We, New Zealanders, have trusted them. We pay them good money. Now, we need them to take responsibility. In the jurisdictions of the world that have rejected euthanasia time after time is so huge compared to the minuscule numbers who don't have euthanasia. Politicians, if you're listening, please be bold, be strong, be leaders, say no.